Here comes the sun, doot doo doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right, but doo doo doo. Rev's in the house. Rev, what the? Where the? I don't. Can I? What the? Is it? I don't get the. What's poppin', everybody? What's poppin', all three of you? How are you? What's the deal, everybody? I've had a very busy week. Very, very busy week. I just got out of jail, and boy, is my ass tired. That was uncalled for. That was unnecessary, uncalled for, and unrealistic. Do not look at my new watch. I don't want anyone going, oh, Bob, you got a new watch. You're better than me. Yes, I'm better than you, but my new watch has nothing to do with it. I'm better than you as a whole, as an abstract conglomerate. Okay, I'm just being stupid. That methamphetamine is kicking in right now, and I feel like busted loose. I feel like busted loose. All right. Hi, Tammany. How are you? Hi, RJ, weatherman. RJ, how's the weather? You're the weatherman. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I worked a lot this weekend. We had huge events. I was so tired I didn't make it to the gym again. Now, I haven't made it to the gym in 11 years, but I was going that day. I was going to go, and then I was like, no, I'm too tired. Oh, I can see. Hi, Brooklyn. Hi, Rev. What's poppin'? Guys, I'm trying to do the news at least once a week to get out of the house. If you walk by the house, by the gym, that's almost as good as going in. I had a serious workout with Jim. Jim's a guy. Hi, Alfred Cluse. How are you, my friend? Hi, Tammany. How is everybody doing today? Guys, I'm not starting the show until we get 11 million people in here. So I could be old and gray. I'm already old and gray. Once I was 9 years old. Hi, Rocco. What's poppin'? I did see the bridge in Baltimore. I think, did a boat hit it? I think a boat hit it, but I'm not sure. If you guys have news stories you want to throw them in there. I appreciate it. Hi, Mr. Bot, my friend from Norway. How are you? Paul Greenwell with the small green pill. How are you? It's going to be a small, intimate gathering. Monkey Man Productions is in the house. What's poppin'? Guys, we have some tragic news here in New York City. This guy, look at this handsome guy. Shot and killed by a career criminal at a traffic stop. Madman shoves commuter to death on subway tracks. That's a different story, but we're going to talk about that as well. I'm sitting at home yesterday. I get this alert. P. Diddy, his houses were raided. Oh, clink, clink. P. Diddy going to the pen, y'all. He got his houses, his mansions in Miami and Florida. Rewind that. In Miami and California. And then he was on a plane to like Madrid somewhere. They stopped his plane. They handcuffed his sons. They were let loose, but this is some shit. This is a real serious deep dookie that he's in. Hi, Arjan. Okay, we're going to get into this. There's a whole lot going on today. Plus, I got good news from the doctor. They were only anal warts. So that's very, very, just anal warts is all it was. This is horrible. Here's the creep who did the shooting. Allegedly. Ex-con ID'd as gunman in the Queens traffic stop. And here's this beautiful cop with his son. I believe that's a boy. With his son. And just horrible, horrible news. 31-year-old New York City police officer was shot and killed by a career criminal during a routine Queens traffic stop Monday evening in a senseless act of violence. Officer Jonathan Diller, a married father with a 1-year-old child, can you imagine, was shot in the stomach after police tried to remove the suspect identified as Guy Rivera from the passenger seat of the car at 1919 Mott Ave. Hi, Carrie. Very, very, very sad. Okay, guys. This guy's been in the paper before. I never forget a face. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I do. Fatal 4-train push by disturbed man. You're riding the train, you're minding your own business, you're going to do whatever you're going to do, and then you got to worry about creeps like this guy creeping up on you. Don't stand anywhere near the tracks if you can help it. Be aware. I treat every person in there like a suspect. That guy, I don't care, white, black, brown, green, it don't matter. I'm looking at him, lady, old man, homeless guy, guy in suit. I'm looking at them all. Suspicious. You're going to literally have to drag me on the ground to throw me in there. A commuter was struck and killed by a Manhattan subway train Monday after being shoved onto the tracks by an emotionally disturbed person in an unprovoked attack. The victim was pushed onto the tracks as the northbound 4 train was entering the East 125th Street, Lexington Avenue station in East Harlem just before 7 p.m. Police sources said the train was unable to stop and fatally struck the man. Those trains, they're coming in, and even when they slam on their brakes, they're going to slide for another couple hundred yards. The NYPD is now, different story, blitzing the subway with 800 more cops than usual over the next few days to hunt down fare beaters. I have said this forever. Guys, I'm not a hater. But when I go jump on the train and I tap my card or I put my money and buy a thing, it's $2.75. So here I am, bloop, and I go through, and then here's 5 dirt bags jumping the railing. I'm looking at them like, man, you really a douchebag like that? They should arrest every single person who jumps the fare, every single one. Now, I hated Giuliani's guts, but one of the ways he cleaned up the city was first thing he did was get fare beaters. Many of the ones who were jumping the train stiles, the turnstiles, and jumping the gates, they had warrants. So they would bust them for that. 290, RJ's saying. They would bust them for that, and then they would run them and get warrants, and then they would get a bunch of criminals off the street. I say arrest every single person jumping the fare. In 35 years, I've never done it. I've been scared to death that I would be the jerk who sneaks on and get in trouble. I did open the gate for an old lady one time. I pushed it open. I said, you don't know me. If you get busted, I'm going to deny knowing you. I tap my card for people all the time. See people standing there like, I'm like, here you go, boop, boop. Fair warning. 800 cops will be in them subways trying to catch your ass. Speaking of subways, 3 people were stabbed in separate attacks on the subways just on Monday alone. In one attack, a woman knifed another woman in the back. They smile in your face all the while they want to take your place. Them backstabbers. The worst thing you could do in the world is be a backstabber. That's crazy. Stabbed her in the back. On the Upper West Side just at 8 a.m., a 26-year-old man was stabbed in the ass. I'd rather get stabbed in the ass. Sorry. He got stabbed in the buttocks. In the streets, we call it ass, but to be proper, you call it a buttocks. Also in Brooklyn, around 4:30 a.m., a 52-year-old man was stabbed multiple times in the back during a feud over smoking inside the station. Anne Hathaway. Well, she's leaving the good girl image behind. She's going all out. I don't care. I don't care. If you saw her in Les Mis, what a beautiful, beautiful performance. Taylor Swift and Kelce. This is the Kelce dude. They're at the beach. They're in love. There's Taylor's booty. I say I hope they're happy. Okay, hold it. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Did you hear what happened in Russia? This is horrible. We've had some bad ones here. Nothing this bad. 130 concert goers were murdered, with over 100 more shot. Hi, Brown Ocean. Guys, everybody say hi to Cindy. They had a concert in Russia. These 4 dudes, all linked to ISIS, not to Ukraine. Of course, what's poppin', man? Of course, Vladimir Putin wants to blame it on Ukraine. He knows Russia has been horrible, horrible enemies with ISIS for decades, ever since Afghanistan and beyond. ISIS hates Russia more than they hate us, which is hard to believe. But these 4 guys, and look at them. This is them in court. Oh, I think they got a little ass whooping in the back of that truck. Look at this guy. Damn, son. This guy was unconscious. They had to bring an ambulance into court to take him out. All of these people were all 4. These are the 4 shooters. All 4, they not only shot, they threw grenades and bombs. They killed 130 people. I think they should get whooped again, and I promise you they have been. They got caught, they were whooped, and then they went to court. And this guy, like I said, he couldn't even open his eyes. He was unconscious. Oh, they whooped his ass. They whooped their asses. I believe we should do that here too. If you catch them red-handed shooting people, whoop their asses. I told you a couple times, I could stop shoplifting. Put a big-ass brother at the front door like this. You're going to steal batteries and walk by the guy, he's going to be standing there like this. Put them back. No more shoplifting. Flacco, the amazing owl. Flacco's poison cocktail. Flacco the owl, whose high-flying adventures captivated the Big Apple dwellers for more than a year, after his escape, was targeted by herpes virus. I'm gonna leave that one right there. I don't know what he was doing out there. Oh boy. A Bronx woman. Some stories you don't even feel comfortable. A Bronx woman beat her mother to death with a pot. A Bronx woman beat her mother to death with a cooking pot, then called 911 to eerily confess to the brutal killing. Skydaja Patterson, 26, has been recently released from a mental health treatment facility. She allegedly bludgeoned Selma McLean, 46. Her mother was only 46, the daughter was 26. She told an emergency operator, "I just killed my mom with a frying pan." When cops responded to the third-floor unit, the younger woman was allegedly found still clutching the blood-covered pot. She admitted to using the kitchenware to hit her mother on the back of the head, knocking her unconscious, and hit her many times. I love my mama. I would never do nothing bad to my mama. Donald Trump, He's had defeat after defeat. You're going to get tired of winning. He ain't won nothing. Lost. Yesterday he had one of the W's. He had a W. His $485 million bond that had to be paid by yesterday, or they were going to take away Mar-a-Lago. It was reduced to $178 million. $178 million, which some moron is going to go, I love you, I'll pay it. It'll be paid. And he got 10 days to do it. But something yesterday happened that you didn't know was going to happen. Donald Trump, who is obviously wealthier than any of us, but he's not who you think he is. He's not this billionaire guy. He's broke. Billionaires laugh at him. Well, not anymore. Yesterday, his Truth Social, or as he calls it, Trent Stalskel. You guys can come over and check out Trent Stalskel. You think Biden's got dementia? But his Truth Social just went online yesterday. It went public for $6.4 billion. He's 18% shareholder of that thing. Former President Donald Trump's net worth jumped up $6.4 billion. So now he's okay. He got money again. But he's lost it 6 times. He'll lose this one too. After a merger between Digital World Acquisition Corp and Truth Social, technology group was finalized. Trump, for the first time ever, at 77, is listed on Bloomberg's Billionaire Index. This is the first time ever. He one time sued, what's that damn magazine where all the Fortune 500. He sued them because he wasn't on the list. He hasn't been on the list. Well, he's on Bloomberg's list for the first time ever at the age of 77. He is on the list of world's wealthiest 500 people, the outlet said. The real estate mogul's previously peak was $3.1 billion. That ain't bad. He did lose his bid yesterday for his latest trial, which will start April 15th. And brother, I'm going to be eating popcorn, hot dogs, boogers, burgers. Stormy Daniels. He's a good Christian man. So what if he screwed her without a rubber? She said it was the worst 2 minutes of her life. Stormy Daniels will be talking about how his illegal hush money thing. It's okay to screw a porn star. Not when your wife is 9 months pregnant with your child, Mr. Christian. But it's okay to do it. You can't get in trouble for that. Maybe by your wife. By the way, I saw Melania for the first time. Melania was the first time with him a couple days ago. First time I seen her with him over a year. But he will go on trial April 15th for the hush money scandal where he paid her off a couple $100,000. He had Michael Cohen, his lawyer of 20 years, do it. Michael Cohen went to prison for a year and a half because of it. Well, now it's Trump's turn. So, good old Donald. Let us continue on. P. Diddy! Say it ain't so, Diddy. This was P. Diddy's wife, girlfriend, Cassie. His wife, by the way, Kim Porter, mysteriously died. So it's been going on the internet for years and years and years. Everybody around Diddy dies. How do I know? Because I've been there from the very, very beginning. I was at Motown. He was a kid working in the office for Andre Harrell, and Andre Harrell's girlfriend worked at Motown, and I was in love with her. So Andre Harrell is dead. Heavy D is dead. Craig Mack is dead. Biggie's dead. Kim Porter's dead. Everyone that was ever linked with him, except for Mace and Lil Cease, all dead. Now, I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but if you worked with or worked for Diddy, there's a very good chance that you ain't breathing no more. Well, this was Cassie. She sued him for $60 million for sexually trafficking her, for making her have sex with other people while he watched and participated, for getting her hung on drugs. She was a very famous singer working for him. She was with him like 16 years. Well, she finally sued his ass. And you know how you know he was guilty? Because he settled within 1 day. There was no negotiation. She said, I'm suing you for $60 million. He goes, here, just sign a non-disclosure agreement. Here's your $60 million. It was over. Well, now there's been at least 10 women and one guy who are coming out saying he sexually trafficked them and used them as well. And Diddy is probably going to be somebody's bitch in prison. Richie Duke knows. He settled the next day. Sean Diddy Combs, his homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by Homeland Security. What the hell are they doing? On Monday, in possible connection with an ongoing sex trafficking investigation, the girl that he trafficked was 16 in New York City. Guys, you have sex with a 16-year-old in New York City, you might get in a little bit of trouble. But it's when you take her across state lines that it becomes trafficking and the FBI gets involved. It's a federal offense, and that's exactly what he did. He's saying all these women are just out for money. Can you imagine being P. Diddy, that wealthy? He's a billionaire. And now your whole life is getting ready to... Tom Cruise. Look at Tom. He's still doing his thing, ladies and guys. Tom Cruise sprints away from the UK tabloids. Just kidding. He's filming Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. And I heard the next Mission Impossible, he has arthritis and he's 108 years old. I'll get you. I will save the world. Yeah, how many Mission Impossibles they're gonna milk that shit until there's nothing left. Let's see what we got going here. The Bronx Jennifer Lopez is Jenny from the Mock after she's revealing her. I don't care. Stormy asked to sing a pornful thing. I don't care. Gossip and innuendo. Gossip and innuendo. Somebody look up the word innuendo. Okay. Everybody knows I Am Borat. He is Michael Sasha Cohen. Michael Baron Cohen, Karen, whatever. It's Borat. Well, this is him on the set of his movie, and I forget the name, I'll tell you in a second. And what's her face? She's very famous now. She's tiny now. She lost a lot of weight since this picture. But she just dropped a book. Rebel Wilson is her name. Been in a lot of movies. She just dropped a book saying he was the biggest a-hole in Hollywood. Rebel Wilson accused comedian Sacha Baron Cohen of being an a-hole who was trying to threaten her over her book. She said, you can bring your lawyers, you can bring your publicists, you can tell my mama, I'm putting the book out. Hi, beautiful brown baby. God bless you. She put out the book. She says that he was an absolute piece of shit to her, and you'll have to read the book to get the fact of what was going on. But Sasha and I have the same agent in America, and I'm like, Sasha, I'm going to call our agent and tell her how much you are harassing me. He harassed her on the set. Every day he's like, just go naked, it will be funny. Making fun of her weight. And I don't think that's appropriate at all. It's pretty horrible. Pretty horrible behavior. And guys, what you do in the dark comes to light. That's a fact. Diddy is living proof. And now Sacha Baron Cohen, he may have had his little fun making fun of the girl. I'm going to crack jokes at your expense. Well, guess what? It comes out and it shows everybody what a piece of crap you are. Hi, Joe Hernandez. A barge man has found the body of that young kid, college kid in Nashville. His name was Riley Strain. Riley Strain was kicked out of a famous bar in Nashville. He went to the river, and they found his debit card like a week later laying by the river. Never found him. Well, a barge man found him. The body of the college student was found dead in Nashville River after being kicked out of a bar. I forget the guy, Kenny Chesney, or one of these country western guys owns the bar. March 8th, for being disorderly and drunken. He was discovered by a barge worker who immediately realized who he was and called the cops. A corpse disposing LA squatter gets 20 years. First of all, he's a squatter, so him getting 20 years, he's probably happy to have a home. A greedy and grotesque Los Angeles woman has been sentenced to 20 years behind bars for fraudulently obtaining real estate property and multi-million-dollar squatting schemes that included disposing of a body. Caroline Joanne Hurling, 44, of West Hills, was sentenced Friday to 240 months. 1 month would be hard. 240 of them? Hey, Joanne, how long you been here? 68 months. I still have 88 to go. She was also ordered to pay $3.8 million in restitution for the elaborate racket. This defendant's misconduct was both greedy and grotesque, causing profound pain to the victims. She is known as Carrie Phoenix, also aka Carrie Phoenix. Herring, who also is known as Carrie Phoenix, and her co-conspirators preyed on vulnerable victims by searching for properties in affluent neighborhoods. Here, this is how the scam works. That appeared unkempt. So if it was a rundown, you're in Beverly Hills and you see one that's run down, that's your victim. In 2020, she and her associates found a fancy home where a 71-year-old man identified as Charles Wildling lived. They broke inside the residence. At some point in September, the victim died. And they believe that, the DA believes that her and the others took the victim and disposed of his body. We got a new home, folks. Not cool. I'm not doing that one. I've done, this is no stab Monday, but I've done, or Tuesday, I've done like 10 of them already. Let's do no more stabbings today, shall we? Why don't we break it up and do some birthdays? I'm only doing 4. Don't get mad. I'm just doing 4. It's Virgo. If you're a Virgo, I need you to listen. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used. Now, this white hair right here is not a booger. It's just whiter than the others. Virgo, you have been living beyond your means, and what has occurred over the past few days has woken you up to the fact. Now you must do something about it. Start by reducing your commitments, both at home and at work. Cut them back to the bone. I'm going to say Sagittarius. What's the thing? Oh, Gemini. I always say we don't do enough Geminis on this show. You need to put aside any bad feelings that were sparked by yesterday's lunar eclipse, and make an effort to work with people whose interests coincide with your own. Any differences you may have are largely superficial, so feel free to ignore them. Plus, you have a nice ass. What's your phone number? I don't even understand why they would put that in. That seems very inappropriate for a horoscope. I don't know why they would ask about the person. So we're just going to let fate decide this one. Where is it going to go? Round and round, or where she goes? I'm going to say it's going to stop on Jupiter. Aries. I had the wheel stop on my anus. That didn't work. That was bad. The Sun and Mercury are in your sign. They will boost your imaginative powers and encourage you to look for unusual solutions to long-standing problems. Steer clear of people who are frivolous and only care about having fun. These are serious times, at least for you. Virgo. We did Virgo. What the hell? Did we do Virgo? Last one. I'm just going to let fate stop it or it won't, Sagittarius. Aquarius. Did you know that we're in the dawning of the age of Aquarius? You don't have to treat some kind of dispute as a fight to the death. You could be a bit extreme in your ways that you react to people who disagree with you. So count to 10, bring your pulse rate down, then talk reasonably about finding a solution, and then do 2 lines of crank. I don't understand, why would anybody do crank on the... I'm gonna do it. Loco, you better stop it. Stop it. Thank you, Loco. God bless you. I appreciate you very much. Happy Easter to you as well. Guys, Easter's coming up. I gotta buy all my ladies presents for their kids. I gotta go around and buy all kind of Easter baskets for my ladies' kids. There's about 60 of them. What's today's date? Today is 3/20 something, 26. 26 birthdays. Famous birthdays. Famous birthdays. Let's see if anybody makes the cut. I don't know who that is. 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 Diana Ross. Diana Ross is 80 years old, folks. What a phenomenal singer. You've seen her in Lady Sings the Blues. She was also a great actress, but she was the lead of the Supremes. And I would sing some Supreme songs, but I don't want to get one wrong and have people go, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Oh, no, that was the Shirelles. I don't know. What do I know? She's 80. Guys, I'm 23 years old. I don't know what the old-timer songs were. What do I know? Danielle Brooke Crowley. Anybody know who that is? This is one of the biggest success stories in the history of the world. If you don't know, she was on Dr. Phil. She was a kid who stole money from her mom's purse and stole her car, and she was talking in slang. Shut up, yo! And then she turned to the audience. They were booing her. She goes, catch me outside, yo! Catch me outside. Catch me outside. What you think about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Anyways, she was laughed and ridiculed. She went viral, and then she became a rapper. And then she had 2 or 3 big hits with big stars. Hi, Tom Schlemmer. And then, guys, this is insane. Because she was 16. She turned 18 on her 18th birthday. She opened an OnlyFans and made $60 million. Don't believe me? Google it. Catch me outside. How about that? $60 million. She now has mansions all over Miami, and she is filthy, filthy rich. She just had a baby girl like a week ago. So, catch me outside. How about that? $60 million from OnlyFans. I opened the OnlyFans. I made $6. And RJ, thank you, my friend. That was so sweet of you. I can't twerk like I used to, but RJ sent me $6, so that was nice. Already time for a line. The tickets emerging for the 6 minutes. This is a winning story. First of all, if you've seen this, it's Ed Norton in the damn movie he was in. What the hell was it called? American History X. Well, this guy here was a devout skinhead. Hated Jews with a passion until he took a DNA test and it found out that he was Jewish. The guy hates Jews. His whole life is about hating Jewish people. Then he does a DNA test and it says, you're Jewish. Well, they're not so bad after all. They're pretty good. This guy, God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes it's good. There's a huge problem in Nigeria. If any of my friends in there are going to Nigeria, I would say don't. Don't go to Nigeria. Also, don't go to Iraq wearing a I love New York, or I'm a USA, or I love Trump. Don't wear any of those shirts when you go to Iraq. Nigeria's defense chief, General Chris Musa, said on Monday the military was being fed bad intelligence by the informants hampering the fight against kidnapping. They're kidnapping everybody. You're at home broke in Nigeria, you're like, man, I'm broke. Should I get a job? No, let me kidnap someone and get 30 grand. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. If anybody knows her number, I do need to talk to her. It's pretty important. It's a life or death situation that an Atlanta property owner says a group of squatters are hindering his efforts to build affordable housing on a 9-acre lot. Can you imagine there's a guy who wants to build housing, affordable housing on a 9-acre lot for less fortunate, and squatters are like, I ain't leaving. I promise you, they'll say, please give us money and we'll go. Oh boy. I keep warning everybody, if you're going to take the train, don't. If you're going to Nigeria, don't. If you're going to eat romaine lettuce from Chipotle, don't. But here's another don't. You want to go on a cruise ship? Don't! Are you crazy? A tourist fell off a cruise ship in the North Sea and is presumed dead. Guys, you're not falling off a boat. You're falling off a 20-story building. And you think, oh, well, I'm going to land in water. Bro, it's like hitting concrete. Don't burn your bippy. I don't know what that means. Don't burn your bippy. I think I know what that means. But I'm not going to burn mine. Guys, if you fall off a 20-foot structure into the water, you jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, which is a lot more than 20 stories. You hit the water like concrete. Almost every person that dies, and a few have lived, but almost every person that dies has died by coming to a complete stop on water. You will be killed. So most of these guys, they fall off the cruise ship, and if they live, here they are doing this for 9 hours. Out in the middle of the Mediterranean, you got sharks, you're tired, it's cold, there's crabs. A tourist fell off a cruise ship in North Sea and is presumed dead after sending his wife a heartbreaking last text saying he felt seasick. Liam Jones, 23, vanished from the MSC Eureba on March 16th during a 7-day cruise around Europe with his family. The Scottish social work student had been last seen on board by his sister after he texted his wife back at home that he was feeling seasick. Sometimes it's foul play. I don't know. I'm not saying it was. Sometimes it is. I'm not doing that. We've got a 16-page baseball. Did you guys see, first of all, the highest paid player in baseball history? Mickey Mantle and those guys were getting like $40,000 a year, bro. Joe DiMaggio set records when he got $100,000 a year. These guys, this O'Shea Otani guy, he's a Japanese baseball player. He plays for the Dodgers. He's the greatest baseball player in the league right now. He just got a $700 million contract. He speaks zero English, not even hello. So I can't imagine what it'd be like living somewhere where you don't speak not one word of the language. So he has a interpreter that's with him at all times. Well, just found out last week his interpreter stole a whole bunch of money and had gambling debts to the mob and to baseball. He had bet a whole bunch of stuff, so they had to have a press conference yesterday with him denying, guys, you cannot bet on baseball if you're a baseball player. Ask Pete Rose. You can't do it. I'm just going through the dial here. Give me a second. This is all baseball. It's all baseball. It used to be the black players. Well, it was the white players because there was only white players were the best players in the world. They brought in Jackie Robinson, who won Rookie of the Year his first year, even though he was spit on and jeered and they threw shit at him and tried to spike him with their cleats. They did spike him with their cleats. Jackie Robinson, the first black player in professional baseball. Then the black players were the best players for 20 or 30 years, mostly. And now it's the Japanese. Then it was the Dominicans, the Cubans, the Dominicans, Big Papi, all those guys, the Latinos. And now it's the Japanese. The Japanese are coming in here and they are killing it because they are not because they're bigger or stronger, they're very disciplined when they come up. I hate to even talk about race being a thing. By the way, guys, I just put up a video on my channel. 10,000 views. I'm going to share it with you now. Some of you have seen it already. Some of you have not. It's this one. This is a woman talking very calmly and rationally. You can tell she's an intelligent woman. She's talking about slavery. And it starts off, she's talking about the welfare system and how the welfare system is like modern day slavery. And that's her analogy. I have had at least 100 comments that all say she is 100% right. And I have responded 100 times that you're a racist douchebag. Tell me what you think. This is a woman explaining. Forget the analogy about slavery being like handouts or welfare. It's about what she said the slaves experienced. She makes it sound like it was a pretty good party, a pretty good deal for the slaves. Here you go. Guys, let me ask you a serious question. Is this I'm going to turn off my headphone first so you can hear it. Idiotic. I'm going to get rid of her and bring her back up. And you guys tell me what you think. Guys, let me ask you a serious question.
Is this absolute racism, or is this just ignorance and idioticness?
Leave a comment.
Any downstream effects from the 60s or 70s, you don't see how any of that could have
They felt oppressed at that time.
Yeah.
But that's what Martin was trying to correct.
But you don't see any
He
downstream
did correct it.
effects today.
Right now, I see so many people living off the government handout.
I'm pretty sure welfare use per capita is higher in red states.
Yes, but there's so many people living off of the government handouts. And that is not that much farther away from slavery.
So
when they were a slave, they were given housing, food, clothing, medical care. They asked the people asked them to work. Yes, there were landowners that were violent and mean to some of them, but there were others that were humanistic.
So her point is that, I'm not saying she agreed with slavery or not. Her point was that giving handouts is like slavery. Then she went on to say, slaves, free housing, free food, free medical, and the people asked them to work. So I've had at least 100 comments where people say, she's telling the truth. Let me tell you something a little different. Okay? Okay, they didn't pay rent. Because they had no money, because they were forced to work 18, 19 hours a day picking cotton and digging ditches and screwing masta, cleaning food, whatever it was, for free. For free. 2, they weren't asked to work, they were whipped, beaten, raped, stolen from a country, sold as pieces of shit to other pieces of shit. That's what happened. So, saying that they had housing, okay. Food. Do you think they were given lobster thermidor? Steaks? They were given shit the hogs wouldn't eat. They had to give them sustenance so that they could work 18-hour days. It just made economic sense to give them scraps of shit that they had to cook themselves that fell off master's plate. So, did they have food? Free food? Yes, they didn't pay for the food, I guess. Medical. Do you think if one of these slaves broke their leg, they were taken to a hospital and laid down? Rufus, you sit down there and you relax, buddy. Don't you worry about today's work. No, they were working with broken legs. They were working with cancer. They were working with whip marks. They were treated as filth. And then the last thing she said is, and they were asked to work. Now, some weren't so great, but most of them were pretty good. If you owned a slave and you gave your slave blowjobs and gave them beautiful cushions to lay on, you still owned slaves. You're still a piece of shit. If they got sick, they were killed. Absolutely. When they got sick on them slave ships, 500 in cubicles laying down on the floor, they would throw them out at sea if they got sick. My point that I'm making is, for anyone to agree with her comments, no matter how right she was trying to be about comparing the two things, there is nothing she said that was true, and there's nothing that any normal, good human being would agree with. Go to my video, go to that video on my page and watch all the pieces of shit stick their racist heads out saying, she's right, they were given food, they were taken care of, and a lot of them didn't have anything without slavery. This is called a racist mindset. This is the reason why we have the problems we have today in this country. Racism is alive and well, and it is horrific and horrible, and it hurts my heart. And it's one of the worst things in the world to me. Some people are cool with it. I think if you go onto the comments and you say, she's right, I think you're a piece of shit. And if you want to read some funny comments, read all those comments and read my replies to each one. I took time out to each one to call them a douchebag, dirtbag, loser, scumbag. All right, I apologize, but I love all people. You know, God made us all. And if you have a problem with somebody because they have a slanted eye or a flat nose or a darker skin, or they pray to a different God, they come from a different socio-economic background, they were born into poverty, they like a person of their own sex, then you are a very sad person, and I feel pity and shame for you. All right? Now, I'm sorry if I brought this to a screeching halt, but posting that video with 10,000 views, hundreds of comments, I think probably most of them, honestly, 70% of them agree with the woman. What world are we living in, folks? I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, if you know her number, I got to talk to her. It's kind of important. Please treat every human being as a human being. Kindness, love, compassion. We can all live in a much better world. When I don't have a penny, I still have my morals. I still have this thing inside of me. When I pray to God each night, I feel comfortable. Not in the sins that I committed, but I feel comfortable in the way that I perceive others. I feel comfortable in the fact that if I judge somebody, it's not because of, it is the content of their character. It's not because of the color of their skin. It's not because of the way they were brought up. Look at that poor guy over there. What a piece of shit. No. Look at that poor guy over there. I sure would love to help him and understand why he feels the way he feels. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Rev, as always, God bless you. I got to go buy a microwave because my microwave last night blew up right when I was cooking a burrito. I'm going to eat a burrito without a microwave. I'm a bachelor. The bachelor's best friend is a microwave. I want to buy a microwave. I will talk to you later. Thank you so much, everybody. Please remember to stay kind and loving. Don't look at my watch. I don't want anyone pissed off about my watch. Stay kind and loving and good to yourselves, and I promise you your life will change for the better. Talk to you later. God bless you. Thanks again, Loco. God bless everybody. Good night.